Hello and welcome to Tech24. I'm Rebecca Bowering. We have a special programme for you this week. Coming up, Halo 4, a Tomb Raider prequel, and something to get you dancing. We're at the E3, a gamer's paradise in downtown Los Angeles. Nintendo's Wii U takes a bite out of Microsoft's Xbox 360. Post-hack Sony eats humble pie and cooks up a storm with PlayStation Vita. We'll have all the tastiest reveals right here on Tech24. Exceeding imagination is the slogan for one of the most visual trade shows on Earth. The Electronic Entertainment Expo is held annually in Los Angeles. Launched in 1995, the E3, as it's known, hooks in tech pilgrims from around the world with its treasure trove of new video games, consoles and portable devices. Amazingly, this year there are nearly as many screens as participants, some 35,000 of them. Among 200 exhibitors, the so-called Big Three dominate. Microsoft, Nintendo and Sony have all been lifting the veil on their hottest new creations. Well, who better to give us all the inside info than our internet editor, Eric Olander. He's been braving the hordes of gamers in LA on our behalf. Here's his essential guide to the E3 2011.
On this opening day, tens of thousands pushed and jostled their way through the crowds, eager to get their hands on the latest video games and gadgets. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, is the pinnacle event for the interactive entertainment industry, where the world's leading game companies showcase their offerings for the all-important Christmas shopping season. While E3 is closed to the general public, an estimated 45,000 developers, journalists, and corporate representatives will pack the Los Angeles Convention Center for the three-day event. And while it looks like they're having a lot of fun, there's also a lot at stake. With 60 billion euros in global annual revenues, the video game industry dwarfs almost every other entertainment sector, topping even the movie business. And the competition is fierce. The big players like Microsoft and their hugely popular Xbox 360 game console are under constant pressure to release new hardware features and ever more creative games. As of the first quarter of this year, Microsoft has sold 55 million consoles in 38 countries. And while those figures sound impressive, they're actually quite small when measured against the surging popularity of the so-called social gaming networks that are now played on sites like Facebook. It's an industry undergoing constant change.
So it's a very incredibly dynamic industry. First, because it's growing very fast in terms of consumer base, and the average age is becoming a lot older now. And you see it through the tremendous growth on the social games.
Among the key trends emerging from this year's E3 are more games that use motion sensors, more titles in 3D, and mobile gaming on either a phone or a portable player. And while most analysts say it's too early to tell which of these trends will break out, it won't be long until consumers have the final say.
As you heard Eric saying there, mobile gaming is all the rage at this year's E3. Sony took the wraps off its next-generation portable player. The PlayStation Vita is motion-sensitive with Wi-Fi and 3G connections. Sony bosses say it marks the biggest product launch since the PlayStation 3 5 years ago, a launch that comes at a critical moment for the Japanese game maker, as Gaël Faure explains.
The E3 convention is the video game industry's biggest event of the year. And so it was only natural for Sony to take the opportunity to apologize for a string of cyber attacks on its network. Hackers accessed millions of PlayStation user accounts, looting customers' personal data.
I want to apologize both personally and on behalf of the company for any anxiety that we've caused you.
Sony had to temporarily shut down the PlayStation network. Officials say it's now been restored to 90% of pre-outage levels.
We have done a lot to make sure that we have security that is over and above the security measures that we had already in place prior to the intrusion.
With that out of the way, Sony unveiled its new generation handheld console, called the PlayStation Vita. Sony's chief said it's named after the Latin word for life, because it's meant to blur the line between game life and real life. The Vita features a touchscreen and touch controls on the back. Wi-Fi and 3G connections will allow users to sense when other gamers are nearby, as well as talk and text while playing. In the US, the Wi-Fi model will cost $249, while the 3G will cost $299. It's expected to hit the shelves in time for the holiday season.
After that hacking embarrassment, Tech24's team in LA asked Richard Brunois of Sony France how PSN will restore consumer confidence.
Has been hacked for now a little bit more than 5 weeks. The complete service is now has now recovered. So there is a welcome back program who has been set up, which is available now, and who is supposed to make trust in the PSN service. It is important. What that means is that we live a new era, which is the terrorism of the virtual world. And this terrorism started by Sony. We were there, we were the first, we're probably not the least, but we have to be very, very careful about that now.
Many of the big video games announcements at the E3 came courtesy of Microsoft. Team Bill Gates pushed its Kinect motion sensor device with compatible titles including Star Wars and a Tomb Raider reboot. In the Nintendo booth, though, the new Wii U was the talk of the town. The console comes out in 2012, and Eric Olander took it for a spin, then ended up getting himself into one on the dance floor.
So one of the most popular booths at this year's E3 is the Nintendo booth, and why? Well, this is it. You're looking at the Nintendo Wii U that was announced on the first day of the event. This is something in between an iPad and a portable game player that you've seen with the PlayStation, but it does a lot more. What's exciting about this one is that you can play a game here, and then it goes on the screen. You can play it just right here, and it has a lot of versatility. But Nintendo's got a few other tricks up its sleeves this season, so let's go out and check out a little bit of their dancing action. So here we are on the main floor of the Nintendo booth. You can see it's loud, it's bright, and there's a lot going on. Now I'm about to do something that I said I would never do on television. I'm gonna dance, or at least I'm gonna try to dance, and these lovely ladies are gonna teach me how to do it. This is Nintendo's Just Dance 3, and they're gonna show me how easy it is. Okay, what am I gonna do?
So you put this on your right wrist.
Okay.
Safety, put that.
Okay.
We will start it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna mirror it.
Okay.
So if the arm goes like this, what arm are you gonna do? Nope. Mirror me. It's
Oh,
like
mirror me. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then show you the next moves at the bottom.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, you can see it's a lot easier when they're doing it. I'm gonna keep trying. Here we go. Thank you so much.
Priceless. Eric has apparently earned himself quite a fan club in LA, and we can see why. That's it for this edition of Tech24. Thanks to you for watching. Do find us on Facebook/Tech24. It's there in English and in French. More, of course, about the E3 on our page, and also you can follow us on Twitter at TechF24. Just in case you missed it the first time, and because it's really one of the funniest things we've seen in years, we finished again with those images of Eric Olander pulling shapes on the dance floor. Bye for now.
Well, you can see it's a lot easier when they're doing it. I'm gonna keep trying.